Times were tough, so I sold my soul. And I don't think I'll ever regain control. Devil looked me in the eye, and I looked the other way. What else could I do? I just stared at the doorway, knew I'd rather be drunk with you. I'd rather be drunk.
Internet, Dracofunk here. Welcome back to the Reusable Space Program, Season 4, Episode 17. And I hope I'm recording the right version because, well, there was a long pause. And part of it happens when there's a technical issue and I get frustrated and I have to step away for a second and then I come back to fix it, but it takes longer. And so, part of what happened was, I like to be honest with you guys. I had made a mistake when I uploaded the model for this to put on the runway, and not everything was set to go to orbit, so once I realized that, I paused the recording and meant to start over, but somehow I did not record the entire ascent. So this is the first footage I had, and this is the ascent where I didn't quite make it to orbit. I would have had the craft been loaded with fuel like it was supposed to be. And I have gotten this craft to orbit before in previous videos. And I did get it into orbit without cheating in this video. I just somehow did not realize I didn't record the footage. And the real issue is there's been months passed since recording, and then months between editing, and then months between the recording of the commentary. So anyway, I almost get it into orbit here, and as you can see, I'm basically out of fuel. So I was going to redo it, and I didn't. So here we are. That awkward cut is me realizing that somehow, I don't know what happened, but I got it into orbit. This is the space tourism craft. They were basically going up and just hanging out in orbit for a day or two, and then they're going to land. And this is me doing the landing. And I probably should have just cut this whole mission out. But the reason I didn't is because I've been having so much trouble landing back at the KSC. And particularly this craft has been difficult to land. And, well, I was trying really hard to be careful and do my landings correct and come down where I wanted to so I could land at the KSC. And I finally did it. And that's when I realized I'd lost most of the footage of this mission. So I'm showing you what I did. I'm being honest with you, and it is what it is. So at this point, I'm thinking I'm going to overshoot. I'm a little bit higher than I'd like to be. little bit too far south, but then I start coming in and realize that, I'm not too far off, maybe a little high, maybe a little fast, but there it is. There's the KSC. There's the runway. I have just a tad bit of fuel if I need to make any corrections. A little bit fast, a little bit high. Let's cut down to real time, but I make it. I land on the runway. A little bit further forward than I'd like to. I am not going to be able to make that turn. But I am here. I'm at the KSC. I'm on the runway. I have enough fuel to taxi. And all the space tourists are back where they started. And everything went well. Which is why I included this mission instead of just scrapping it after all my difficulty landing back at the KSC with the SSTOs. There's a fuel truck for refueling all the SSTOs and aircraft. There's one of the other tourist SSTOs. Obviously not the one that's out in the ocean. Like right about here. And get the ladder down and everybody can exit the aircraft and go about their business. But they're not the only ones who have paid for a space holiday. Now I realized that all the tourism SSTOs I have built thus far are too small. They carry too few passengers, and that we needed a bigger one. And this is my answer to that. This is the big passenger service SSTO that will be taking space tourists up to the space resort. And some of them, half of them are going to stay at the resort, half of them are going to go on a cruise in orbit of the Mun. Yes, I think I had a wheel down there to catch just in case, and I did break that off, and there will probably have to be an incident report filed, but for now, this space plane is going to space. It does not use the space ferry. It has its own space engine, maneuvering engines, its own nuclear engines. It can make its own way to the space station, and it will land back at the KSC. I am going to try very hard from now on to make sure I am landing back at the KSC. I need to go back and check my footage because I don't know if I have done that already. I don't think I do that in this episode. It's meant to be the next episode. So, I recorded a whole bunch, like all of my KSB footage during the summer. And I did that because I knew I was going to get busy with my job. Basically, all of Season 4 was recorded this summer. I did a whole bunch of the commentaries over the past, like, starting when I was recording the footage to a little bit after it. And then I'd even had them uploaded and scheduled. I haven't actually had to touch any of the KSP videos for like 2 months or more. And I had these videos recorded and partially edited, and all I had to do was the commentary, and my job just got too busy. It's the way it goes. You know, I do most of the editing for the rest of our channel, our audio commentaries, which we record at least once a week. Can't always be there, but we all have days when, you know, we can't be there. Shaggy B is gone for a while. Scrodrick comes and sometimes vomits, sometimes not there, and I'm sometimes not there. And sometimes we're all there, or 2 or 3 of us. And the combination of that can vary, and it's interesting. But we like to get together and watch a movie. We watch a movie together, and we would love for you to join us. You can hear us talk about the movie, watch along with us. Sometimes we watch good movies, sometimes not so good movies. Sometimes watching a bad movie is fun. We are now, for us, because our recording schedule for that is ahead of time, we're into the Christmas season, which I guess by the time this video comes out, it'll be close to that anyway. This will come out, the week of Thanksgiving will be this Thursday from when this video comes out. So that's exciting. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. And then it's on to the Christmas season. But hopefully I might have some time to do some more recording. I had intended to have some time. I took a short vacation, and I ended up actually doing more vacation stuff and not as much YouTube stuff. I did do some YouTube stuff for, there's another YouTube channel that I do stuff for also, and I did do some stuff for that, but that is mainly because the location I was at is all about that other YouTube channel. And I ended up not recording, I was on vacation. I didn't record any KSP or play any video games. But anyway, I'm currently rendezvousing with the Space Resort. I have 16 Kerbal space tourists that I'm going to drop off. 8 of them will go to the cruise ship. 8 of them will stay on the resort because they only paid to stay on the resort, not go on the cruise ship. Now, there are 8 passengers currently at the resort who paid to go to the resort and on the cruise, and they've spent roughly a week at the resort. And they will go on a week-long cruise around the Mun, along with the cruisers who are on this. And then the people who are staying at the resort will spend a week on the resort. So, there are currently 4 packages available for space tourists. You can go up in the small craft and just spend a day in orbit, or you can buy the Space Resort package and spend a week at the Space Resort, or you can spend and go on a week-long cruise around the Mun, or you can do both, in which case you go a week early, which in last episode, you go to the Space Resort, and then when this craft comes up a week later, you transfer from here to the cruise ship that will go and orbit the Mun. Then when you come back, you will take the SSTO back to Kerbal, and then the next group will actually take the ferry back to the other SSTO, which I'm going to have to send another one up. So the reason I landed that SSTO first was because it's actually going to come back up with another set of passengers who are going on the cruise and staying at the resort. So it will come back up. The ferry will go take the 8 passengers from the cruise ship and take them back to that SSTO. They will swap passengers. The 8 who are currently about to go on the cruise will land back at Kerbal, and 8 new passengers will come up to the resort. And then the 16 passengers who either spend a week at the resort or a week on the cruise will land on the big SSTO. Right now, the cruise ship is filling up with fuel because it is about to depart on its week-long cruise into lunar orbit. And there you can see the space truck and the space tanker still on its way to Minmus. And that is from last episode. No need to have the front docking port open. It's going to be a week before anything docks with it, unless, of course, there's some sort of emergency, which we hope doesn't happen. And it also is possible that this ship can carry another 8 passengers, so the cruise ship isn't 100% fully stocked. Or it's possible that 2 of the passengers paid for a more private cabin instead of sharing it with, 4 people. There we go. We're going to put it in a pretty leisurely orbit. It's not looking to go to the Mun station. And there we are. All the space tourists are there and enjoying their time around the Mun, enjoying the amenities of the cruise ship there, and all the things to do in orbit. And hopefully over the next week or so, I can actually get together any footage I have, or even record new footage, and maybe get some more stuff done. I have not forgot about the 200 subscriber special, I just haven't got to it. Either way, like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.